That's over on ESPN. Right here on ESPN2, one of the most dynamic freshmen in the country. We'll have an opportunity to see Trey Johnson of Texas.
Yeah, I love his size. You know, when you talk about freshmen across the country, you've got to mention Trey Johnson along with Ace Bailey, Dylan Harper. The list goes on and on, but he is dynamic and continuing to learn on the job.
No question about it. So that's next of at least a couple tonight. Jaden Taylor and NC State Fish have lost 2 in a row. They got Florida State Conference opener Saturday. What do you like about this guy?
Well, Jaden Taylor has been struggling going into the game versus BYU, but he found his stroke. 4 of 6 from behind the three-point line. Part of that Final Four run with NC State. He's going to have to play well tonight also.
And one thing we should really quickly keep in mind, if you're Texas, this is the start of a big week. Remember, after losing their regular season opener there to Ohio State, they've reeled off 6 straight wins. But after this one, it doesn't get any easier. They got UConn this weekend, so it is quite the week. They'll have the Huskies to end it, moments away from taking on the Pack. Damien and I will see you at the half. Tom Hart, Fran Fraschilla, it's all yours.
It's V-Week on ESPN as we continue Jim Valvano's fight against cancer.
From the Lenovo Center in Raleigh, North Carolina, you're watching the SEC ACC Men's Challenge presented by Continental Tire. And tonight, Texas and North Carolina State meet for the 5th time ever, the first since 2011. Texas comes in red hot. The Longhorns have won 6 in a row. And NC State trying to snap a 2-game losing streak that has them 5-2 on this very young season. And with that, welcome courtside, everybody. Pleasure to be with you. And Fran Fraschilla, I'm Tom Hart. And not much of a pleasure for the ACC so far. 10-1 start to the SEC here in this challenge. In mere moments, Bama will make it 11-1 as a start. What does this mean, big picture?
The SEC is the best league in the country. There's no question about it. It's going to remain that the whole year. We're looking at 10-11 teams in the NCAA tournament 4 months from now.
What a start for the SEC. Meanwhile, what a finish for North Carolina State last year. It was a magical run. They won 9 consecutive elimination games to return to the Final Four.
That's the good news. The bad news is only one starter, Michael O'Connell, returns for Kevin Keatts, but no question, a wonderful late season run by the Wolfpack.
Meanwhile, on the other side for this Texas team, they were a 500 team in the Big 12 last year. They stepped in the SEC, and they step in with one of the most talented freshmen in the country.
Trey Johnson has not disappointed. He leads the SEC in scoring. He's been magical. And remember, Texas has had a history of outstanding freshmen. Kevin Durant, DJ Augustine, TJ Ford. Trey Johnson from Dallas, Texas has not disappointed.
He's a number 5 overall prospect in the ESPN 100. He was a McDonald's All-American, and what a start for him. Leading the SEC in scoring with 21 points a game. He's had 3 20-point games. He's been in double figures every single game so far this season, and he already broke Kevin Durant's record for freshman points in a debut. So, good luck living up to that, huh? Ready to go, NC State and Texas for the late tip here in Raleigh. And the tip is controlled by 6-1 Texas, playing its first true road game of the season.
Both of these teams will definitely get up and down the court. Smallish in nature, but athletic.
Jordan Pope, the starting point guard for Texas, 2.5 assists a game, puts up a 15-footer and drills it. Here's a look at the starters for NC State. They had a not-so-good trip to San Diego, lost by double digits to the first 2 power teams they faced. Remember, Michael O'Connell from his heroics through the ACC tournament on the way to the Final Four in Phoenix last year. And an early foul on Arthur Kaluma.
And something interesting tonight, Ben Middlebrooks in the starting lineup. So they've gone bigger than they've been most of the season. Of course, Ben Middlebrooks along with O'Connell, 2 key parts of that great run a year ago.
6'10" senior, giving him some more size inside. Brandon Huntley Hatfield also in there for State. Shot clock at single digits. And it's stolen away. The Lumas had a couple of stops, Creighton and Kansas State. Texas push, what a jam!
Oh my
Trey
goodness.
Johnson, the freshman from the Raptors.
What a start. We were so impressed with him today, just getting a chance to visit with him. Dallas, Texas has produced some great players over the last recent years.
Here's Michael O'Connell with the pull-up. This is a mid-range NC State team, and then a foul on the rebound will go against the Pack. And Trey Johnson can do a lot, including this.
Yeah, watch this. The sea parts, the Red Sea, so to speak, right down the lane. He's a great outside shooter, terrific shot creator, and you saw a little bit of that high-level athleticism. In my mind, Tommy, one of the 4 or 5 best freshmen in the country.
Preseason 3rd team All-SEC debut season for the Longhorns, and they push it again and get a whistle and count it.
And speaking of SEC, former Arkansas Razorback Tremont Mark with the basket. He's in the starting lineup now that he's healthy.
Mark battled an ankle injury early in the season. Didn't play the first 4 games. Started his college career playing at Houston and went on a Final Four run with the Cougars in 21. Mark, limited action. He's 4 of 7 from the free throw line this year.
NC State over the weekend, to your point about the competition, Purdue, BYU really struggled to make shots, score easily, and right now off to that same similar start.
They were shooting 50% from the floor in the first 5 games. Against BYU, they shot a season-low 37%. That was the last time out for this Wolfpack team. Hill, downhill, off balance, and pulled down by Tremont Mark. Starting this game for Texas, similar to the SEC starting the challenge. SEC won the first 9 games before Clemson pulled off an upset of Kentucky late last night. That's a long 2 for Trey Johnson and an early timeout used by Kevin Keats. It's a 9-0 start on the road for the Longhorns. Trey Johnson with an early impact to this game. He's got 4 of the Longhorns 9. What do you like about him, Fran?
He is an absolute gym rat. When you talk to the Texas folks, and I've been around those guys a long time, they compare his work ethic to Kevin Durant's. Kevin was in the gym constantly. This young man, 2 to 3 workouts a day. He loves ball. His dad was a terrific college player. And, man, was he impressive today just talking to him. Really sharp young guy.
Yeah, he's got a maturity about him that belies his youth and inexperience. Jaden Taylor with his shake, and now the 3, and couldn't find the rim. But a foul will go on this side against Texas and Tremont Mark. It's interesting talking with Rodney Terry about the plan for Trey Johnson. He went to Link Academy in Southwest Missouri last year, and Rodney told him, he said, I want you to think of Link Academy as your freshman year. And when you come to Austin, this is going to be your rookie year in the NBA. There's the first bucket for State by Marcus Hill. And then when you get to the league, you already got a year under your belt. How about that, son?
Well, Link Academy, as you know, you play the IMGs, the Montverdes. It's a high level of high school basketball. Mostly high major players, and really gets you ready for the power conference level.
Kaluma working on Middlebrooks, very physical outside the lane. And then he spins free. And the rebound ends up in the hands of Michael O'Connell.
Good work. He's going to get a basket here.
Yeah. And an easy dose on the other end for Brandon Huntley-Hatfield.
Michael O'Connell, the Stanford transfer. Remember, he was a huge catalyst last year on that run to the Final Four. Tremendous point guard.
At the buzzer beater against UVA in the ACC tournament semis. He had a great game against Duke in the Elite 8 where he had 11 rebounds from his point guard position. He's a leader again this year. Corner 3 good for Jordan Pope.
How about that great pass by Trey Johnson out of a double team, cross court, and then the N1 pass by Kaluma.
Texas has made 5 of 6 from the floor. Interesting talking about the maturation of that Wolfpack team last year. Good feed inside. Able to thread the needle, and Huntley-Hatfield's got another. And it was tied into the evolution of Michael O'Connell, who came over from Stanford. It took him a little while, as it does a lot of transfers, to find his voice and leadership within the team.
Yeah, no question. And I did a little research. He's 19-10 as a Wolfpack starter in a little over a year.
There's Lenovo with the scoop. Only the second miss from the floor for the Longhorns in the first 4 minutes. Hill gets cut off. Trying to go baseline on Mark. And Mark forced him into a bad shot. I guess that's how you play defense when you start your career at Houston, huh?
Yeah, no question about it. Now, how about the offense?
Tremont Mark has 6 early.
Quick start by Texas.
Man, they're sizzling. Where's NC State at its best in the half court?
I think pick and roll with O'Connell, but the problem is Texas has a game plan for that. They're going to try to trap the ball out of his hands. And, of course, getting it inside the Huntley Hatfield wouldn't hurt either.
Jaden Taylor cut off, shot clock at 4. Taylor beat up by the freshman Johnson. And it goes home. Jaden Taylor's first bucket.
Well, that's a tough shot. It's not a shot I'd want to move on all night if I were Kevin Keats. But give Jaden Taylor right there the credit. He earned that basket.
NC State has heated up. Pack has hit 4 of its last 5.
Great shot fake. He's got a great shot fake.
But he did bring the ball with him. 3-on-1 for NC State. Taylor collects and draws a foul on Trey Johnson. 15-8. Texas in the burnt orange, red hot early. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Continental Tire, the smart choice in tires. Well, I don't know if NC State was a smart choice to bet on them late last year. They went into the ACC tournament on a losing streak. They lost 4 in a row. Then Fran Fraschilla, they won 9 straight and culminated with a return to the Final Four.
And a Final Four that, they've had great history here. The 83 team won it all with Jimmy V. And this team last year caught fire. 9 straight elimination games until losing to Purdue in the national semifinal game. Kevin Keats, who's one of the best people in college basketball. Great run, great human being. Started his career as a head coach at Hargrave Military Academy, which has produced about 10 NBA players through the years. David West, probably the best among them. But
I was going to guess 1 million. It seems like everybody went through there. I think that the fascinating run about that season for Kevin Keats in North Carolina State, number one, he was on the hot seat before they went on that run. Okay, so that's probably most important big picture. But also think about the royalty that they knocked off. They're one of 6 ACC programs that own a national championship in their program history. They beat the other 5. Carolina, Louisville, Syracuse, Duke, UVA. I mean, you're able to knock those teams off on your way through the ACC tournament and then in the NCAA tournament. And this fan base was so hungry to get behind a winner. And boy, was that delivered.
And they knocked off Duke in the Elite 8 to get to the Final Four, get to Phoenix? Phoenix, that's right. A lot of Pack fans down there.
Michael O'Connell has assisted on 3 of the first 4 buckets for NC State. Here's Trey Parker. He's a talented freshman.
Almost traveled.
Coughs it up. And Tremont Mark has it blocked. Big-time swat by Dontrez Styles. Push ahead for NC State. When they run, they can really pile up the points. They're just severely limited in that San Diego trip. Over 2 games, only 13 fast break points. Taylor trying to whistle it inside, but the freshman Trey Johnson got his hands on it. Only 6 seconds left on the shot clock for the Wolfpack.
Brandon Huntley Hatfield has been well traveled. Started his career at Tennessee, playing for Rick Barnes, and a couple years at Louisville. Did not go well for their team. 12-52, I believe. And this is a year to maybe make some amends.
Well, he was a rebounding machine last year for Louisville, 5th in the ACC in scoring, and they'll share some time at the 5 spot with Middlebrooks, who checks back in. But 3 on the shot clock. Parker off the front of the rim. Middlebrooks keeps it alive. Here's O'Connell. And a rebound pulled down with one hand by Arthur Kaluma. Julian Larry is running the point. He's one of 9 Indiana State Sycamores that transferred out after the magnificent season that they had last year.
I spent a lot of time with that Sycamore team in the NIT, and this guy grew on me. Julian Larry from Frisco, Texas. 4 years in Terre Haute. He's a high school quarterback, and I mentioned Marvin Mims today.
Yeah.
Denver Broncos, Oklahoma Sooner. That was his target when Julian quarterback.
Well, Mims would make a lot of quarterbacks look good, right? Even Bo Nix.
Me and you look good.
NC State has whittled their way back into this thing after Texas got off to a 9-0 start. Longhorns haven't scored in 2.5 minutes. Middlebrooks got double, kicks it out. Shot clock at 5. Another extra pass. Styles for 3, and NC State has closed that gap in a hurry.
They need Dante Styles to play at a high level. The former Carolina Tar Heel, then Georgetown, back home in the state.
Here comes State. Pack hasn't led yet tonight. O'Connell went down hard. No whistle. Texas the other way. Now Longhorns catching their breath. NC State on a 9-0 run. Kaluma in and out. And a fantastic rebound. And a putback up and in by Kendall Weaver. What an effort.
He is, this is his second year. He's a transfer from Texas Arlington. He is an Energizer bunny.
17-13 NC State with a nice run, but Weaver's bucket has life for Texas again. 17-13, Texas with the lead against NC State. What a run for the SEC. They won 11 of 12 games in this challenge so far. Clemson with a huge upset against Kentucky last night. Can you do me a favor? If your fans are going to storm the floor, and I love it, and I love court stormings, please leave the lights on. Is that too much to ask? Alabama just hammered Carolina 94-79. They met in the tournament last year. That's a third win in 3 years for Bama over UNC.
I've seen Alabama and Auburn in the last 3 weeks. They are both NCAA title worthy. Alabama's got so much depth.
Little floater is good for a ground pass. By the way, Auburn and Duke playing right now. A surprise for the Auburn and Alabama teams. Last night, I'm told that when each team returned to their hotel from the respective shoot-arounds, they were surprised to show up at the same hotel as the other. So the rivals, it's the Iron Bowl of hotels. They show up and they're sharing the same space.
Fighting for conference room space.
That's right.
Both of those teams are absolutely outstanding. How about Jedi Broom and his start to the season? Great look.
I'm going to tell you, doubles. That's a bucket for Shedrick.
Tommy, we're going to be in Columbia, Missouri for Kansas-Mizzou. Yep. This kid, Julian Larry, he reminds me of DeJuan Harris. He just, don't worry about the stats. He just makes winning plays. Good example right there.
Well, he's got 108 career starts under his belt. I don't know how many DeJuan has at the moment, but I'll tell you Sunday. But no substitute for experience. Baseline jumper for Dontrell Styles. It's interesting style for NC State. They're very much a two-point shooting team. Texas locks down two-point shooting teams.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why NC State's got to get up and down the court and get out in transition.
Another feed for Caden Shedrick. He's got back-to-back buckets for the Raleigh native who played his high school ball just down the road at Holly Springs High School.
Got a few family members here tonight, we've been told.
Yeah, in fact, the Holly Springs boys basketball team was supposed to show up for this one. He had to scramble to get enough tickets out for all of his family and friends. Touch for Middlebrooks, and there's the double. Good kick out of there. Late in the clock, Taylor for 3 off the back rim. Another fresh 30, another offensive rebound for NC State.
Yeah, really good hustle by Styles. That's what they need.
Indeed.
Yeah, they were looking for that all weekend out in San Diego. And Coach Keats told us that the transfer from Georgetown has to get going if they're going to be the type of team that he thinks he can mold them into being.
Kinston native, started his career playing for the Tar Heels.
Best player to ever come out of Kinston.
Jerry Stackhouse.
Yeah.
And Cedric Maxwell.
And
don't forget about me.
And don't forget Charles Shackelford, who played here at NC State.
How about Reggie Bullock?
Yeah,
Tremont Mark gets knocked backwards. Here comes NC State. State has never led. Hill. High off the window. And we got a tie game at 21.
And they're throwing that full court press up as well. Little 2-2-1.
NC State has made 4-5. Wolfpack back in this game. Both teams have had many runs. Texas scored the first 9 points in this game, and Kevin Keats was forced to take an early timeout. Weaver over Middlebrooks, and a hand check will be the second personal on Ben Middlebrooks.
Yeah, let's take a look now. NC State starting to heat up a little bit. Watch Styles. Hard drive to the basket by Shedrick. Nicely done. And then Marcus Hill, the Bowling Green Falcon transfer. Averaged about 20 last year in the MAC. And both of those guys coming off really tough weekends. As Kevin Keats said, we need those guys to step up, and so far they have, Tom.
From the free throw line, Kendall Weaver's got another one coming. Junior from Arlington, Texas. Was the WAC Freshman of the Year a couple of years ago at Texas Arlington.
He's an outstanding defender, and at 6'2", averaging 6 rebounds a game.
Is that what Texas is going to be? They're kind of team that has to have their guards get some boards?
Yeah, this is not an overly talented Texas team in terms of some of the teams we've watched through the years, and it's going to definitely be rebounding by committee. Shedrick, in fact, is really the one big guy that's in the rotation.
Shedrick battling inside with Huntley Hatfield. There comes the double. Back out to pass. And a save on the baseline by the freshman Trey Johnson. NC State had a unicorn in the post last year, a point center that could distribute unlike anybody. Kennedy downhill, Kendall Weaver, and he throws down the dunk. He's got 5.
Well, great find by Julian Larry on the baseline. These two guys are two really good team players. High energy, good defenders, move the ball.
And a beautiful reverse, and NC State battling. Marcus Hill's got 6.
Nicely done. Went off the opposite foot. Shot blockers kind of looking like it's like a knuckleball, trying to find it.
They gave Bowling Green better than 20 points a game last year. Trey Johnson had a couple of buckets early. He's been quiet since, one of the top freshmen in the country. Mismatch, and he fires over the top. Pulled down by Taylor. NC State still searching for its first lead of the game. Taylor splits them, and NC State is in front for the first time. Timeout, Texas. Something to get on their feet for here in Raleigh. NC State in front by 1. NC State came in a good 2-point shooting team, and they're 10 of 16 inside the arc tonight.
Yeah, and that's 62.5% for those at home working on their arithmetic and getting downhill to the hole. I'm sure that Rodney Terry was not happy with the idea that Dontrez Styles, who had a really rough weekend in San Diego, is missing in action. He put an all-points bulletin out for him, but he has certainly shown up tonight, and exactly what Kevin Keats said he needed from him, he's providing early. As many field goals tonight as he had in 2 games in that San Diego trip. He was 3 for 12, as you can see. He also went 0 for 7 from 3. And State throwing that little 2-2-1 press out there. What's the goal with the 2-2-1? Well, against teams in the non-conference, you try to turn them over, but you're playing a team like Texas, slow the game down and melt the shot clock. And a drive ends up in a whistle with Jaden Taylor tied up Arthur Kaluma. You know, I've been watching Arthur play at Creighton, at Kansas State, and now this year in his first year at Texas. And this is the most efficient he has been. And for this Texas team, because of their lack of size, he's basically their 4-man, even though he's a 6'6" guard. Great shot fake, good around the basket, and he's judicious this year shooting the 3-ball.
Kaluma 71% from the line. Got one more coming. The second annual SEC ACC Challenge continues Thursday. Full slate of top 25 women's hoops, including number 18 Ole Miss here against NC State. That's on ESPN 2 at 7 Eastern. And our doubleheader has number 4 Texas taking on number 10 Notre Dame, followed by number 8 Duke and reigning NCAA champs South Carolina. Duke's increased its scoring from 68 points a game last year to 83 this year. Carol Lawson's team has turned it up on the offensive end. Michael O'Connell gives it up. Dennis Parker Jr. cut off. Back to O'Connell. Floater. Nope. It'll be out of bounds and belong to Texas.
Little used Nick Cody in the ball game now for Rodney Terry. 6'10". Freshman out of Dallas, Texas.
And then a mistake made by Jordan Pope. Stepped over the end line. And so Texas gives it right back. Rodney Terry's team does not turn the ball over. 4th in the country, fewer than 9 turnovers a game. That's their second tonight. Huntley Hatfield jump up. Here's Weaver. And the rebound comes down to NC State.
This is where they've got to push it. Try to get some easy ones, get downhill. They've done well at getting to the rim tonight.
Pull up, tough shot. Wow. Marcus Hill.
You know, he's listed at 6'4".
What do you got him at?
6'2". Bowling Green had him at 6'4". I don't know what they do out in Ohio, but obviously a terrific score last year in the MAC.
And before that, he was at Southern Union State. You're forgiven if you don't know exactly where that is. He was on the map because he led all of junior college in scoring.
It's down there in the state of Alabama.
Weaver cut off. Shot clock at single digits. Here's Kaluma. Oh, what a strong move. Baited him into giving up the baseline.
Very, very patient this year. Picking his spots. Keeping that ball moving. At that time, he just overpowered the defender.
Went to the Elite Eight with Creighton. The team that lost to San Diego State in that thriller. Hill trying to shake. And now Dennis Parker off balance. Kaluma picks up his second.
Now let's go back and take a look at Marcus Hill. Nice little pull-up right here in the lane. And then Kaluma just with the bully ball down low. He's got a great shot fake. And he just muscles Hill out of the way.
And correction, that last foul was on Kendall Weaver. And so Dennis Parker Jr. has got a couple coming his way. Sophomore out of Richmond, Virginia, John Marshall High School. He was a consensus 4-star recruit. Weaver takes a seat.
They got Trey Parker. They got Dennis Parker Jr., my favorite Christmas song, sung by Ray Parker Jr. No relation.
Playing any Parker Brothers board games growing up, I bet. 0 for 2 from the line. Only his 3rd and 4th attempts from the line this season. Ray Johnson's dad started his college career at Baylor and gets that one turned away as he went on the drive off of him and back to NC State. There's thought that Trey was going to end up at Baylor.
Well, Dad played at Baylor and finished at Midwestern State. Probably came down to those two, but don't forget, VJ Edgecombe goes to Baylor. Didn't play tonight, by the way, hamstring. And Trey, so each of those in-state schools got a terrific young freshman. Both are going to be in the NBA draft.
Trey scores 17 in the McDonald's All-American game. Corner 3 is good for Marcus Hill. Only his 3rd of the season, and NC State's up by a deuce at the 4-minute mark.
And that was a terrific, terrific dime by Michael O'Connell. Left hand cross court.
And a foul on the wing. Charge yards to Parker. How about another assist from Michael O'Connell?
Yeah, well done. Take a look. Michael O'Connell. He's got the Stanford degree in his back pocket. He'll get the MBA in the spring, and he puts that ball right on the money. Nicely done. Woo. Okay.
Yeah, they also got a football game coming up this weekend. I think Texas fans are dialed in on making their trip to Atlanta as well.
Rematch.
Kevin Durant was at the first one. Here's Trey Johnson with the fadeaway. Good.
He's got that move down pat. He's got great footwork, fundamentally sound, obviously highly skilled. And they went right to him out of the timeout. It tells you something.
Yeah.
No, not enough on that.
Connell has it turned away. NC State with the turnover. State has given up the lead as Trey Johnson goes back-to-back out of the timeout.
He's good, man. He is really impressive. And give Julian Larry credit. In fact, I watched Texas this year. They all defer to the freshmen, which says a lot when you think of how many older players are on this Texas team. They love playing with Trey Johnson.
Huntley Hatfield. And Parker with an extra pass, wide open corner three. And O'Connell, who's shooting almost 40% of the season, left it short.
Look at that speed by Larry. That time he turned it over.
He was hoping Shedrick would have been watching, but here's a guy to watch all season, Trey Johnson.
Watch this guy, man. He has got that fadeaway. Good defense right there. Can't do anything about that. And then watch this pull up. It is an incredible year for freshmen in college basketball. He's in my top 6.
He was named Mr. Basketball in Texas. Anyway, played a year in Missouri. He was the Missouri Player of the Year. Here's O'Connell. They've gotten looks from that corner, and it was funny. I asked Rodney Terry, Texas is #1 in the country in 2-point percentage defense at 38%. I said, hey, is this a byproduct of the schedule? Is it, defensive philosophy? Is it about your roster makeup or a little bit of everything? He said, well, we've also given up some threes. So if you can get it from 3, your 2-point number is going to look better against us.
And if you take away the 2, and you're vulnerable to the perimeter shot. But I think it's a combination of everything you mentioned.
An air ball as it fade away from inside the free throw line. By the way, that was Arthur Kaluma's second personal. I feel like you mentioned Texas, maybe not as talented as they've been in years past. If they're going to find wins in the toughest league in the country, in the SEC, as you described it, they're going to have to come up with some great defensive efforts.
Well, they've always been. You go back to Rick Barnes, obviously, certainly now Rodney Terry, Chris Beard. Rodney knows about defense, that's for sure. But they're going to have to be a gritty, tough team. And this league, look at this hand, look at his hands. Get on the floor.
Taylor dives after it. Larry saves it. Shot clock's at 13. And Julian Larry trying to set up now, guarded by O'Connell.
Got to get into the paint. He will.
5 on the clock. 3. Larry launches from straight ahead. Couldn't find the rim. And what a defensive performance by North Carolina State on that effort.
And right on cue, Jordan Pope back in. Former Oregon State Beaver. Saw him play as a freshman. Made my first trip to Corvallis to watch him. Nice college town.
It was honorable mention all conference as a freshman at Oregon State. Traded one shade of orange for another. Pope feeds it inside. Keats wanted a walk. Instead, it'll be a foul on North Carolina State. To the dismay of the NC State head coach. And get Dontre Styles for his first.
And then they showed a replay. And I think what he did was he tripped over Styles' foot. And I think Styles would have a good argument here. He just steps on Styles' foot. So Kevin Keats got a pretty good argument.
It puts Zarek Onyema at the free throw line. And he sends it too far. Ball don't lie. Is what they say for him. I don't know.
Invisible turnover. That's what we call it.
Huntley Hatfield guarded by Shedrick. Well, he was muscling his way inside, but way off the mark. And the putback from O'Connell draws a whistle. First on Jordan Pope.
And I think if NC State is to reach their potential this year in conference, Huntley Hatfield has to have a really, really good season. He's the only inside scorer, although, as we've seen tonight, Tommy, we've mentioned a number of times, their guards are great at getting into the paint and getting those two-point baskets.
So here's O'Connell at the free throw line, who's second in the country in assists, 7.5 per game. Look at a big matchup Saturday night. You're done watching college football. Switch over to ESPN 2 at 10 Eastern. Number 4 ranked Kentucky, coming off its first loss, the Mark Pope era, goes on the road to Seattle to take on number 7 Gonzaga.
You and I are going to have time to watch that game Saturday night.
You staying up that late?
Oh, yeah. It's 9 o'clock Columbia, Missouri time.
That's right. Get an hour back.
We'll be ready to see Kansas, number 1 in the country, take on a Missouri team which had a great comeback last night, down 16 at the half to Cal.
Yeah, they gave up a 17-0 run at the end of the half, and they scorched the Nets in the second in the Conzo Martin Cup, I believe is what they call it. 5 seconds in the shot clock, and O'Connell got in the way and gets whistled for the foul. Whistle's going against NC State.
Yeah, and I like that. They went inside to one mismatch, but as soon as Johnson gave it up to the wing, he still had Huntley Hatfield on him. Throw it right back to him and let him ISO the big guy. We call that a boomerang pass. But they still got a mismatch inside with Shedrick.
So Caden Shedrick at the free throw line. And the rebound belongs to the Longhorns. Great effort and saved by Johnson. 40 seconds to go in the half. Here's Pope. Pull up. Nope. And the rebound yanked down by Marcus Hill. 5-second difference, game clock and shot clock.
Probably thinking high pick and roll right here with a point guard that really sees the floor.
And a loose ball out of bounds in front of the Texas bench. There'll be 10 seconds left on the shot clock. State hadn't made a field goal in nearly 4 minutes now. Both teams have gone cold late.
Every now and then when you get into this situation late in the clock, I wouldn't even ball screen. Give it to him. Too late. Got to go make a play. He can.
2 on the clock. Rejected over to the Texas bench. Half second left on the clock, and it'll be a corner inbounds.
Chance for a catch and shoot, but very difficult spot right here. You don't usually practice an inbounds in the deep corner. And again,
turn around, another block, and that will be a shot clock violation. And now Texas has just over 4 seconds. What do you like here?
Well, we've said it for a million years. If you get a clean catch, you have 4 dribbles to go coast to coast. You look at the clock. You don't even look at it after you look at it once, and then you're going to catch it and get 4 dribbles. But you got to catch it heading towards the basket. Let's see if we got it here. Throw it back.
Didn't get it back to him cleanly. And Texas will not get a shot off to close the half. NC State scoreless over the last 4:12. Texas scoreless over the last 3:22. And as we hit the half, it's a 2-point lead for Texas. Trey Johnson, the freshman, with 9 points. Marcus Hill's got 11. Plenty of hoops to catch you up with. And what a night in the SEC ACC Men's Challenge, along with Damian Fishback, who's Zubin Mehenti.
Tom, Coach, thank you very much indeed. We are underway. ACC could really use this one. The SEC ACC Challenge, as you may have heard, has slightly gone in the favor.
It's not going well.
Not at the moment. Again, that's over on ESPN. It's halftime here on ESPN2 with the former Auburn star Damian Fishback. I'm Zubin Mehenti. So Texas jumped out to a 9-0 lead. North Carolina State stormed back. We got ourselves a ball game, huh?
Yeah, you really do. You have two teams that are really still trying to figure themselves out. You know, on the side of Texas, they haven't really played with all 8 players in their rotation all season long. Tremont Mark missed the first 4 games. He was out with an injury.
Right.
Now, Kent's out of the basketball game. He didn't even travel with the team. Same thing with NC State. Still figuring it out on the job. This is going to be a competitive game as we go forward.
No doubt. 2-point game at the half. And speaking of stepped up, more than that for the SEC, who's completely dominated the challenge. Trey Johnson has been great. One of the best freshmen in America. 2-point game in Raleigh.
You're watching the SEC ACC Men's Challenge presented by Continental Tire from the Lenovo Center in Raleigh, North Carolina. Texas leads NC State 33-31. Tom Hart alongside Fran Fraschilla. Very well played first half until both teams kind of went cold a little bit. But here's your game summary. Texas scored the first 9 points. NC State, much better shooting game today than they had against BYU last time out. And the freshman Trey Johnson has 9 to lead the Longhorns.
And the teams are very evenly matched. Not a lot of size inside. Both teams play essentially with 4 perimeter guys around a big. And NC State, after the slow start, Tom, crawled way back in it. And we should have another good 20 minutes. Of course, the ACC trying to salvage something out of this wreckage that the SEC has put on them over the last 24 hours.
You know, big picture, that could certainly hurt the ACC throughout the course of the season. You lose value in wins and you get hurt more in losses. I think that's putting it really simply. But just as far as NC State is concerned, to try and get back to the NCAA tournament, they're running out of opportunities in the non-conference to find signature quality wins.
They do have one more opportunity.
I think if you want to count on winning at Fog Island Fieldhouse, that might be slim.
On December 14th, you're right. And Texas is a team I believe will be in the picture for an NCAA bid. You know, it's only 4 power conferences this year. So those Pac-12 participants in the NCAA tournament, you know, this is a conference, the SEC, that could get 10 or 11 teams in.
You would have thought that would have opened up more space for ACC teams, but bracketology not kind of the ACC. No. Here's a nugget I heard today from Gary Parrish. Vanderbilt is the lowest rated SEC team according to KenPom. They're in the low 70s. There are 10 ACC teams behind Vanderbilt.
Crazy.
It's over half the league. It's Marcus Hill who's got a game-high 13, and we're tied at 33.
And Marcus Hill, like Styles, was missing in action in San Diego over the weekend. Good to see him getting it going a little bit.
And a Texas turnover. Caden Shedrick couldn't squeeze it. O'Connell had a rare turnover in the first half. He averages 1 turnover every 50 minutes. Taylor, no.
Those are the kind of shots that NC State's got to make. They're not a great 3-point shooting team.
Well, 2 of 8 from deep in this one. Turnaround, Trey Johnson. Middlebrook's got his hands on it. Kind of looking. Huntley Hatfield battling inside, and then they've moved it to the elbow. It's a wrestling match with Huntley Hatfield and Shedrick when they choose to engage. Shot clock at 10.
Swing it. And should get that ball moving a little bit.
So NC State worked on it to shoot around today whenever the double comes on the post. Fresh 20. Huntley Hatfield. Here comes the double. Came late. O'Connell for 3. Wide open. And another missed open 3.
Yeah, these are good looks. Great pass by Huntley Hatfield. Did exactly what he should have done off the double team. Kick it to the opposite side. And got to make some of those. Got to make the defense pay.
Tough Wednesday for Michael O'Connell. 0 for 7 from the floor. Pope knocks it down. Second 3 of the night for Jordan Pope. You mentioned started his career at Oregon State.
He's an Oakland kid. Tough as they come. 2 good years under Wayne Tinkle out there. Wanted to change his scenery. And Texas opened up their arms to the transfer.
One of 20 on the Bob Cousy award watch list for the country's best point guard. Stolen away by Tremont Mark after the double, and the two-hand flush. And Texas has opened up a 5-point lead.
That's like a quarterback throwing into coverage right there. We talked about Huntley Hatfield getting rid of it, looking weak side, and that time Tremont Mark read the pass, went right through the passing lane.
We should start calling those Jameses. Jameis Winston just can't stop. He's turned to a higher power to try and stop throwing pick sixes. Middlebrooks drills the three. Just his second of the season. And NC State finds some momentum from the big.
Gets the crowd going a little bit. It's a late night here in Raleigh.
Shedrick turns it over.
Take a look right now. So Mark sees that he's been looking opposite Huntley Hatfield. Runs right through the passing lane for the pick 2.
Great starts last year for Eric Musselman at Arkansas. He led the Razorbacks in scoring. It was an interesting collection of talent. And a second turnover tonight for O'Connell. Kaluma. Here comes NC State the other way, 3-on-1. Huntley Hatfield took a bump and gets a bucket. And he'll go to the line for the lead.
Watch the big fella run the court now and get rewarded. More importantly, watch him take the contact and finishes at the rim. Big fella, been in the weight room.
Number 1 is laugh. You should laugh every day. Number 2 is think. You should spend some time in thought. And number 3 is you should have your emotions moved to tears. Could be happiness or joy. But think about it. If you laugh, you think, and you cry, that's a full day. That's a heck of a day.
Well, we had an opportunity to watch that entire speech before we came over for the games today. And here's a reminder that it's a V Week at ESPN. We partner with the V Foundation to highlight the urgent need for cancer research. Game-changing research that helps save lives. You can join the fight against cancer by visiting v.org/donate. 100% of your donation goes directly to cancer research.
And Jimmy V, of course, his greatest accomplishments took place right here at NC State. Got to see Ernie Myers before the game. Ernie was on that 83 team, one of the great high school players to ever come out of New York. And I said to Ernie, what was your connection to V? He said, my high school coach was coached by Rocco Valvano. There's Ernie, Jimmy's dad, and that was the connection. Of course, Ernie still living in Raleigh, and he's an all-time great here, very popular. But that V connection was incredible down here on Tobacco Road.
And for everything he did while here at NC State, that legacy continues. Johnson pull-up 3. Whoa! This guy is going to be a lot of fun to watch this year.
He sure is. That's an NBA 3 right there, probably a little further. He's just so cool, calm, and collected. When I watched him in October, I thought he was a little too cool for school. And then I stayed after the practice, and he was out there for an hour working up a sweat with the assistant coaches. And as I mentioned earlier, they've probably not had a gym rat like him since a guy named Kevin Durant.
Shot clock is late for NC State. Taylor got some space.
Yep.
Dave Taylor's got a... I think what strikes me watching Trey Johnson, he's not hyper athletic, but he just has such a great feel for the game.
I think you're exactly right. He's not the explosive athlete that, you know, you would think of. He's a basketball player with great skill. Look at this. Wow.
Follow from Shedrick results in a foul against North Carolina State. And see who gets charged for that one. Going to go on Huntley Hatfield as first.
Tommy, when I watch Trey Johnson, I've seen him a lot in high school and, of course, watch practice. He's still upset with himself. But those first 2 plays he made tonight, the breakaway dunk and the step-back 3, if you're an NBA scout, you could pretty much close the notebook and say, okay, I've seen enough.
He's been in double figures all 8 of his college games. Here's Caden Shedrick at the free throw line.
There you see him talking to North Carolina native from Burlington, Frank Haith, former head coach at Tulsa and University of Missouri. Those coaching shirts look like they got them at a bad golf pro shop sale, like the after Christmas sale.
You got an end of season discount on those stripes?
Nothing against burnt orange now. It's just the style of those shirts.
Here's Parker with 9 on the shot clock. Into Huntley Hatfield. Got rid of it before the double got there. 2 on the shot clock.
Gotta go, gotta shoot it.
He doesn't see it.
No, that's not Ben's fault. That's Marcus Hill's got to have a shot clock in his head right there. Once Marcus got into the paint, he needed to be aware of that clock. You always got to have it in your head as you get under 10. You know, in the NBA, they play with a 24-second clock, and once you've been in the league a couple of years, you don't even need a shot clock to look at. You kind of know. And Marcus right there needed to get that ball up on the glass.
NC State going to go a little bit smaller with Styles coming in at the 4. O'Connell returns, and it's stolen away into the hands of Marcus Hill. NC State has made its last 3. The team that didn't shoot the ball well over its previous 2 games, they have picked it up tonight. And a foul inside. Tremont Mark is going to get whistled for his 3rd. Hand fighting with Brandon Huntley Hatfield.
Good job by the Wolfpack. They saw the mismatch and they tried to get it into the big fella, and he picked up that 3rd foul. And that's going to bring Kendall Weaver back.
Huntley Hatfield going to work. And here comes Texas the other way. Pope into a 3 in transition. Follow wasn't there, and NC State comes out with it.
At their best when they push it, just like this, get downhill.
22 fast break points a game, 2nd best in the country. Beautiful pass to Huntley Hatfield, and 1 for number 1. And NC State back in front.
Excellent execution. When you drive it baseline, the big guy on the opposite block just circled to the top of that restricted arc. Watch right here. Michael O'Connell knows right where Huntley Hatfield's going to be. And the big fella finishes it off. I've got to tell you now, we all know what Michael O'Connell did a year ago. That great run, Middlebrooks and DJ Burns and Horn, etc. This kid's a tremendous point guard. And they don't have the scoring around him this year that they did last year. But you can tell what a difference maker he is when the ball's in his hands.
He didn't even get into the starting lineup last year until late January, and things started to turn for NC State. But remember, a 4-game losing streak going into the ACC tournament before they came and turned it up. 9 straight wins. Point guard Jordan Pope.
Little Spain action right here. That's what we call it. Pick the picker.
Johnson.
Nice.
Whoa! Came out of nowhere.
Well, Arthur's having a really, really good season.
Hill working on Weaver.
It's a tough angle.
Arthur Kaluma
comes out of nowhere. 6'6". Shot gets up on the rim, and nobody gets a piece of him on the backside. And he's really the de facto power forward this year. Physical enough to definitely handle that role.
Shot like a 5. Here's pass. Little shake, off balance. Bodies on the floor, and the rebound comes down to Texas. Weaver, Kaluma on the run. Shot out of cannon.
And one of the reasons he got shot out of the cannon is because Kendall Weaver at 6'2" is all over the glass. When he rebounds it, then he can play like a guard in the open court. You just follow his lead.
Styles working on Kaluma. Texas has forced State to some tough shots.
Yeah, he's not going to get by Kaluma.
Hill 11 in the first half, and fouled by Weaver. will head to the free throw line. 2-point Texas lead. Big matchup Saturday night. Eastern. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Continental Tire, the smart choice in tires. We're talking about Trey Johnson tonight, the top freshman in the game, and if you live up to the tradition of great freshmen at Texas, you've accomplished something, including Kevin Durant, National Freshman of the Year in 07, his lone season there.
I do remember a conversation I had with my former boss, Rick Barnes, that summer before Kevin was a freshman, and he said to me, Coach Fran, I got the best player in the country. I said, Coach, you mean you got the best freshman in the country? He said, no, I think I got the best player in the country. And he was right. KD was pretty good. And they've had some great ones. You know, LaMarcus Aldridge was hurt his freshman year. Jared Allen certainly has gone on to great things in the NBA.
Daniel Gibson,
Boobie Gibson. And this guy in a long line of those terrific players who've gone on to play in the NBA and got their start on the 40 acres. You'll be in the 40 acres a lot this year.
Yeah, I think so. Hope so.
Yeah.
Be a lot of fun. By the way, KD made it. I don't know if he's going to be in Atlanta this weekend, but he made it to Austin for the first Texas-Georgia game.
Got a feeling he'll be busy somewhere this weekend.
Well, you know, the report came out today. Shams was talking about that he's out 1 to 2 weeks with an ankle injury that suffered last night.
He might be in Atlanta.
But he brought all of his Sun starters with him. Flew in after an open practice at Arizona State, and he was pretty excited to show off with Booker and all those other guys and say, this is how we do it in the 40 acres. And he was down on the sideline for that game. It was all Georgia. Georgia shut him out in the first half.
You know what I love about that? They couldn't get him tickets in the stands, or at least it would have been difficult.
Can you imagine?
I'm sure they could have got him tickets, but they said, well, just put him down on the field. Nothing wrong with that. Darrell Royal Stadium, great place. What's it hold now, 150,000?
Well, they keep winning, it will.
Yep.
Taylor.
Gotta shoot that. Yeah,
shot clock at 6. O'Connell is swarmed, gives it up with 1 on his shot clock. Trey Styles in the double figures.
Styles hit right behind O'Connell as that shot clock went down. It's fun, man. It's two teams battling. They both need a win.
NC State has lost its last 2. Texas comes in on a 6-game win streak after dropping its opener. Middlebrook's digging for it. It'll be Texas basketball. 9 seconds to the shot clock.
Yeah, let's go back and watch Michael O'Connell trying to make a play. So Styles circles right behind him, and Kaluma gets stuck behind, falls asleep, and nicely done.
Shedrick returns. 9 seconds on the shot clock for Texas. Here's Trey Johnson.
Watch him now. He's got great footwork. He's getting a shot.
O'Connell with the dig, gives it to his man, and it's rejected, but Middlebrooks is whistled for what will be his 3rd personal foul.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's take a peek. Officials had a good view. It looked like all ball right here. I think it's all ball. Remember, hand is part of the ball. And I think Ben Middlebrooks got all ball right there. I know his uncle Danny Cannell, former Florida State quarterback, who's got to be up early because I listen to him every morning. Probably didn't like that call.
I'll be talking about it tomorrow. Speaking of football, ABC College Football Conference Championship lineup includes Tulane going to West Point to take on number 24 Army. Iowa State and Arizona State for the Dr. Pepper Big 12 title. Georgia and Texas in Atlanta. And it ends with Clemson and SMU. When you think about the college football playoff from a March Madness bracketology standpoint, Clemson sitting there as a bid thief.
Could be, and the bid they'll take is probably Roll Tide if they're able to knock off SMU. By the way, SMU should be in, barring a 49-0 loss. I don't see how SMU is not in, but certainly Alabama back in Tuscaloosa hoping for a Clemson win, right?
Yeah.
Actually, they want SMU to win. Yeah. That's right.
Bring in clemency.
Yeah.
Clemson loses. Hill's got another one coming. That foul is on Weaver, his third.
I listen every morning to Dusty Dvorak and Danny Cannell.
Yeah.
Great college football stuff. Every now and then they sprinkle it in college basketball.
Rebounded by Kaluma.
All right. This is exactly the kind of game that we expected. Very evenly matched.
By the way, one of the few that's been close in this challenge. The SEC has won by blowout in just about every game, including Mississippi State and Pitt right now in Starkville. Bulldogs all over the Panthers. Johnson tried to shake, turn around, bucket, and a whistle before he walked with it.
Still a big-time shot by the freshman. Let's watch right here. Officials had a good look at it. There's the pivot foot. He lifted it up. It's a good call.
They don't call that one at the next level, though.
Probably not.
Probably not.
They're probably going to get away with that one. Going to be an outstanding young professional player in time. He's just got great demeanor and what I call countenance. Just plays the game at his pace.
Styles for three.
Oh, they've been missing this.
Third three of the night for Dontrell Styles.
Well, last year he shot 37% at Georgetown, and Kevin Keats would take that all year long.
Larry behind the screen from Shedrick.
Got four guys on one side of the floor.
Shot clock's at 6. Larry finally gives it up. Pope for 3. He used every bit of the rim.
Well, somebody wasn't alert on the backside, because once he went baseline, the only people on the court in burnt orange were on the opposite side of the floor. They just let Larry make a play.
Season high 3 threes for Dontrell Styles tonight. Here he is getting a touch. NC State using every bit of the clock. Taylor with contact will draw the foul.
Now let's go back and watch Dontrell Styles. Had a very good junior year at Georgetown. Catch and shoot, letting it fly, knocking it down. And then watch this drive here by Larry. See all the white jerseys in the lane? Once that guy drives baseline, somebody's got to be rotating out to that weak side corner.
Last foul's on Trey Johnson, his second. Middlebrook's playing in foul trouble.
He's a really good passer.
O'Connell puts it up off the window.
Yeah, when you make that cross-court pass, it becomes a long closeout, and it gives a driver like O'Connell room to get by the defender. Really nicely done. Inside-out basketball.
Larry with the shake, and rejected by Middlebrooks. We got a great one here tonight in Raleigh. NC State is flexing on Texas, going into a 3-point lead late second half. Yeah, I think so. They need more from Hunter Dickinson. Had a bad night. Tonight was Kansas's 105th all-time game as #1 against an unranked opponent. Just the third time in their history that they suffered a double-digit loss in that scenario. And the first since Kansas State in the rivalry game in 11.
Wow, but everybody loses in Omaha. UConn's lost there.
Yep.
Those great Villanova teams lost there. Pop Isaacs dropped 27 tonight. One of my personal favorites.
Johnson cut off, tough shot.
Yeah, good defense.
Dontrell Styles at 6'6", gave him no space.
Got to be careful here. The freshman's going to foul, and he did. He let him get away with the first bump. And Berg Smith said, no, not twice. Good call.
So that's the third on Trey Johnson. You sit him here?
No. Oh, they might sit him for a minute, but not for long.
Yeah.
No, he's got 3. It's kind of coming down to crunch time. You know, you saw it coming because he got away with the first bump. At Link Academy, you play an IMG, that ain't a foul. Sorry.
That's right.
But he'll learn. Oh, big miss. Big miss.
Connell only 64% from the line.
Got to try to put this Longhorn team away when you can at the foul line. Can't give away points.
Neither team has shot the ball well from the free throw line tonight.
Good head fake.
Pope back to Mark. Mark's been limited due to foul trouble this evening. And he able to get it in over the top of the rim. Leading scorer for Arkansas last year.
Not for long. Limited. Nice hang in the air. Good ball movement on that possession. You know, this is not a knock, but this feels like a first 4 game in the NCAA tournament. And I don't mean that negatively. I think both of these teams have a chance to play in March in the tournament.
Styles off the window.
Yeah. I like the way he's mixed the 3-ball with the drive. Early in the game, he got to the rim. He's catching and shooting that 3.
He's got a game high 15. Longhorns will reset. Larry looking. Kaluma mismatch with O'Connell. Got to muscle into him. He got tied up. And then they're going to reach.
Yeah, I thought, see, what I like about this is Mike O'Connell reached in with 2 hands like he was going to grab the ball. You usually don't get a call for a foul on that play. Let's watch.
See, if anything, it was going to be Middlebrook.
Yeah, and I just think when you reach in with 2 hands, it doesn't look like a foul, and I'm not sure it was.
Instead, it's a second on O'Connell with just a little over 6 minutes to go. Pope, 8 on the shot clock. Never gave it up, and then we get a foul on NC State and the second on Styles.
Yeah, Dantes walked underneath Shedrick while Shedrick was jumping. Good effort. Only the 4th or 15th foul.
6 minutes to play, and Trey Johnson will return for Texas.
That's just to settle him down, give him a quick blow.
And they'll go a little bit bigger with Johnson and Mark on the floor at the same time. Kaluma, head fake gets him nowhere.
That's good
Reverse
D.
pivot gets him nowhere.
That's good D.
And then the step through spin, and he tracks down his own miss off the carom. Mark for 3. Rebound to Kaluma. And a whistle against NC State. Kevin Keats is near midcourt. He is apoplectic at the whistle his team's getting tonight.
Well, I love that Kaluma stayed with it. Styles on the first part of it, he did not jump for any of the shot fakes. And watch Arthur track it down. And then he's going to crash the glass right here. And he got reached in as a foul on pass. That's the easiest call of the night.
It's the first pass.
I think Styles going to get a quick blow here because he's done a great job.
Johnson going to work.
Good D.
Taylor ties him up. It's out of bounds off of the freshman. Back to NC State.
They've locked in on the freshman for sure.
And that is senior versus freshman right there.
And no pressure. Watch Taylor now. He's not going to. You know what you do in that situation? You take your nose and you put it on the offensive player's belly button because the belly button can't fake you out. So you just stay on his belly button, and that's exactly what Taylor did.
O'Connell dishes into the corner for 3. Offensive board for NC State. Here's Taylor. Working towards Middlebrooks, gave him a screen. It's rejected at the rim by Shedrick. NC State thought it was goaltending. All burnt orange the other way. Trey Johnson transition. We are tied at 55 on a Trey Johnson 3.
Y'all missed the goal, 10.
Shedrick started this. Take a look. Caden Shedrick, their best shot blocker, the homegrown Raleigh guy. A lot of family here. And then at the other end, this kid, ice water, doesn't matter how many he's missed. He is going to take that shot.
We're tied at 55 here, 4:55 to go in regulation. ACC basketball on the ACC Network this Saturday. We've got a triple header. BC takes on Wake at noon. Then number 20 North Carolina trying to bounce back. They play host to Georgia Tech. And Stanford and Cal, 4 Eastern. Yeah, that's an ACC game now. All of that on the ACC Network, and it's always streaming live on the ESPN app.
I was trying to figure out Cal, Missouri last night. Like, what's the connection? Oh, yeah. ACC is a challenge.
I thought, I was thinking it was the Conzo Martin Cup.
Conzo back coaching at Missouri State.
Yeah.
Terrific guy. Coached at Tennessee, Cal. Little fake pressure right here by Texas.
How do you see the final 5 minutes of this one?
You know, obviously this game's been very closely played. The teams are very evenly matched. I got a feeling Texas is going to make 1 or 2 more plays. I just got that feeling.
Texas is not in the bonus yet. Next foul will be.
NC State much better tonight than they were over the weekend.
Contested 2-point jumper. And it was O'Connell fighting for it. It goes off to Texas. It's interesting watching NC State. They're really good running, right? Their fast break points are second best in the country.
Yep.
But when they don't run, it's like an NBA team. They use the entire clock when they don't run. Puts a lot of pressure on execution late.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a great point guard that can handle the ball right down to the end of the clock.
Huntley Hatfield. Blind jump hook. Turned away by Shedrick.
And you know, Kaluma's got his 13th rebound. He's been rock solid tonight. Been a good effort on the road.
He's 1 bucket away from a double-double. Lost by Texas. Trey Johnson out front. Hill. But that's goaltending.
Yep.
Marcus Hill converts on the break.
Yeah, Marcus Hill, the Bowling Green transfer from Bowling Green, Ohio. Take a look. Steele at the other end. Averaged 20 last year. He's getting that number tonight. He's got 16.
We got a tight one here with NC State only lead by 2. Speaking of Duke and Cooper Flagg, Fran's got him number 2 on your list of best freshmen. Who else stood out to you so far?
Well, I mean, Dylan Harper. I saw him in Las Vegas. He took my breath away. Ace Bailey, his teammate, 2 Rutgers kids. Now, that's not the mock draft, because I'm not smart enough to figure out what teams are drafting yet, okay?
Right.
I'm not that good. Other people are, but I think Dylan Harper has played the best of any freshman in the country right now. I'm certainly high on Cooper Flagg. He's got a double-double tonight over in Durham, 15 miles away. This kid's top 5 in my opinion. But when you look at the freshman class, Derek Queen, Jeremiah Fears.
Yeah, I was going to throw Fears away. He's still haven't lost, and he's getting them 17 a game.
Absolutely. Robert Wright from Baylor, Edgecombe, and it's a plethora of really good freshmen. Nice pull-up right there.
Shot, Jordan Pope. He's got 13.
They have put a number of Longhorns in double figures tonight.
Well, good things come to those who wait. We really only had one good game last night. It was a sensational contest with Kentucky losing on the road at Clemson. And then Duke and Auburn coming down to the wire. And here, a tight one with 3:17 to go and a turnover. Gives it right back.
Don't see that very often from Michael O'Connell.
Well, that's a rarity. But He's had a hard time tonight. He's had 3 turnovers. Go with 7 assists. He came in having 1 assist every 50 minutes and a push off on Jordan Pope, a personal foul and a turnover for Texas.
Birch Smith right on top of that call. Rodney Terry disagrees. Birch made that call about 10,000 times. The extension.
Texas scored the first 9 points in this game. The Longhorns withstood an NC State rally and had a 2-point lead at the break. Middlebrooks.
He can pass it.
And when the double came, it turned into a foul. And it's another on the freshman. That is the 4th on Trey Johnson.
Ben has really mixed it up tonight because he's physical enough to get to the rim. And obviously he's got that ability to find his teammates on the weak side. And with 2:48 to go, Trey looks over at Rodney Terry and says, I got you, coach.
And before that, Rodney Terry looked down his bench, and then I imagine he thought, well, I don't have any better than Trey.
Exactly.
And he looked back out to Trey and said, let's just be calm and don't commit another foul. A lot of missed free throws on the front end for NC State tonight.
Yep, that's going to be an Achilles heel if they don't win this game.
And a travel. Trey Johnson took it, and he's beside himself with some of these whistles going against him tonight.
Let's watch. Handoff. Here comes the freshman. Well, I think he took 2.5, 3 steps. I think that was a pretty good call.
Still active 57. 12 turnovers tonight for Texas. They came in 4th in the country. Less than 9 turnovers a game. O'Connell.
These are critical. These are critical.
Styles. No. Needed some big ones in the first half.
Yeah, these are good looks. Somebody's going to make a shot or two to win this game.
Both teams cold on the offensive end. Here's Pope over O'Connell. Rebound. Trey Johnson tried to sneak it in, left it short. Kalula finds another. Under 2 to play. Shot clock at 10 now.
Let's see what the freshman can do to shoot it.
Over the top of the senior. It's a 3 for Trey Johnson. He's got 18.
You know what he did, Tommy? He didn't waste any time. He didn't mess with the ball. He created a little bit of separation, and he just rose up. And I told you earlier, he's made about 5 or 6 plays tonight. That's all I needed to see.
Middlebrooks kicks it into the corner. Styles decides to drive. It's blocked, and it goes. And one coming. 3 the hard way for Dontrez Styles.
That could have been 2 twice.
Could have been.
Now it's going to be a goaltending, and it was goaltended into the hoop. Take a look right here. Watch Shedrick now.
I think Lee Cassell is saying that the foul occurred before the shot.
Well, and keep this in mind, too, because it was a goaltending call, they can review this. Now, did he call goaltending or did he call a foul? Because if it's goaltending, they can review this.
But you can't assess a foul on the review. You can only review the goaltending aspect.
And you can
the ball went in anyway.
Well, but not if but you can't review a goaltending call unless you make a call.
That's right.
Okay, so let's see right here. Are they calling goaltending? And the ball went in anyway, so it's going to be 2 points. I did not see if there was a foul call, and I don't think there's a foul. New rule, last 2 years, you can go to the monitor to review a basket interference goaltending. If it's not goaltending, then we might have a point of interruption situation. I think the basket's going to be good. I think it's going to be called goaltending.
It's a little odd.
It's an odd play
to go to the monitor because what is the end result either way?
Well, here's the point. As soon as you goaltend it, the clock stops. So whether the ball goes in or not doesn't matter, because if it's a clean block, right, then it's not goaltending. Then you go to point of interruption if there's no possession.
I believe they're probably looking at the clock if that's the case, that they did indeed call goaltending.
Yeah, because I don't see a foul here.
But what do we say? A second? And whether or not it went through.
In this kind of game, a second means something, you know? And oftentimes they've made the call and they're just trying to get the clock correct. But they did blow the whistle. And it's apparent to me there was no foul call. So if it was basket interference goaltending. Now, if they don't think this was goaltending, then it's going to be point of interruption if there's no possession.
It was goaltending, and they went back to double check the clock.
Yeah.
So
see, it didn't matter if the ball went in, because once there's a call,
the play was dead.
Yeah, good piece of officiating.
So no foul on it. It was just a whistle for goaltending, and it's a 1-point deficit for NC State with 1:20 to go.
Yeah, that clock is important, man. That second or two, in this kind of game, you got to get that right. Where's the freshman? Being guarded by Jaden Taylor. Watch this now.
Kaluma, hard drive, off balance, followed, no, but a foul on Kendall Weaver's attempted putback with under a minute to go.
This kid is as energetic as any player you will see this season. At 6'2", we mentioned it earlier, he's averaging 6 rebounds a game. He's going to come into your picture, and he's going to get up on his pogo stick and almost puts that ball back in. Now, he's not a great foul shooter.
This 47% on the year.
All right.
The foul, by the way, was on Hill, his second. One or two from the line for Weaver. 2-point Texas lead, under a minute to play. And a timeout taken by Kevin Keats across midcourt. 54.3 left in regulation. Back to Raleigh in half a minute. Second annual SEC ACC Challenge continues tomorrow. Full slate of top 25 women's basketball. Coach Joe and Ole Miss will be right here in Raleigh to take on NC State on ESPN2. Top 10 showdown with 4th-ranked Texas and number 10 Notre Dame on ESPN at 7. And that's followed by the reigning national champions South Carolina taking on number 8 Duke, 9 o'clock Eastern at Colonial Life Arena.
You're going to see the Madisons tomorrow night. Texas's outstanding sophomore Madison Booker, young lady from Mississippi, and Madison Scott. She's Ole Miss, one of their best players ever. All SEC a year ago. She played some USA 3-on-3 for us. So I've seen Madison operate. That should be a good matchup here with Les Moore's club. Les Moore's team's already lost to 2 really good teams, LSU and South Carolina. A number of really good teams on the men's side, like Houston. You know, Houston has lost 3 games on the final possession. And I think they're going to be really good, but heartbreaking losses to Alabama, Auburn, San Diego State.
Well, speaking of close losses, this is an NC State team before their Final Four run got hot. They had 7 games decided by 5 points or less that they went 0-7 in. And Kevin Keats saying, you know, I really felt like after we got off to a good start last year, we had this malaise in the middle of the season. We just couldn't finish those close games. Obviously, they did once they got to the ACC tournament. We'll see if they can here. And the officials have gone back to the monitor and double checking, I assume, the clock.
Now the question here, last year they could throw it into DJ Burns, who was basically their point Empire State Building. Because that's what he seemed like out there. It's going to be interesting. The ball's going to be in O'Connell's hands, but who's going to end up taking this next shot?
Here's Jaden Taylor. O'Connell will come back up and get it. He's turned it over 3 times in this game. That is a monster number for him. Shot clock at 10. Huntley Hatfield posting. Taylor cut off. Shot clock at 5.
Taylor needs to shoot it.
Fade away over the freshman. And it's a loose ball that goes out of bounds off of Texas. Shot clock is off. 29 seconds remain, down 2.
Jaden Taylor beat his man the first time. Either take it to the basket and get fouled, or create space the first time, not that second time with less time on the shot clock. So they'll now go to the monitor and review the clock, I believe.
They're going to look at possession. They're going to make sure that was indeed off of Texas on the baseline.
Exactly.
And meanwhile, NC State and Kevin Keats can steal a timeout here to draw up perfect baseline out of bounds play, assuming that they'll retain possession. Here's a look at it.
Let's take a look right here. Looks like it went off Shedrick last.
It was a bit of a reach by Huntley Hatfield. His right hand got in there towards the tail end.
Let's watch it again, Tommy. I see Shedrick here. Tell me what you think.
Certainly Shedrick first. Watch the right hand. Oh, is it also Shedrick last?
That's what I saw. That's what I saw. But we'll find out. Yeah. Good job tonight.
Right, so what do you draw up here? There is 20 seconds left on the shot clock.
You know what's relevant here is not only to get a shot when you're down to try to get a chance at an offensive rebound or two. So you can't hold very long. You got to get something going quickly.
Styles has been one of the best scorers. So is Hill. Number 3 in white. And a turnover again. He turned it over once every 50 minutes, and Michael Connell with 4 turnovers tonight.
Well, give Texas credit because they smelled out Styles. Watch Styles. See how well he's guarded. Kaluma's been like underrated tonight defensively. Got a foul.
Shot clock is off.
Yep, got to give one.
O'Connell gives his 3rd.
Now this is a 1-and-1.
Longhorns just 7 of 13 from the free throw line tonight. What an uncommon game for Michael O'Connell.
Well, this guy at the foul line coming into tonight was pretty accurate. 8 of 9.
First free throw attempt tonight.
Short.
In his State's hands. Jaden Taylor has it. 20 on the clock.
Can't mess around. Get downhill. You got it. I got a timeout.
Timeout on the drive with 17 seconds left.
Oh man, that's a little bit unfortunate. I thought Taylor, you know, we've been urging him to go to the basket. That time he did. He looked like he had to step on his defender, but Kevin Keats in the last 2 minutes, the coach can call timeout when the ball is live, and he decided to call timeout.
So the inbound will be at the hash in front of the NC State bench with 17.2. You mentioned this a moment ago, but I'll go back to it. How quickly do you want to get a shot off if you're NC State down 2?
As quick as possible. Just get it inbounds cleanly, which they didn't do that last time. Get it to whoever you think can get downhill, and then you drive it, try to get fouled, try to score at the rim. Maybe a kick out 3 for the win if it's a good look. They're not a good shooting team. But they cannot mess around, and then what you got to do is you send everybody to the offensive glass right here. And as we know, Bob McKillop, the great coach at Davidson, taught us this many, many years ago. You tip it out, look for the 3 off the offensive rebound. We call it a dagger 3. Rodney Terry right now, on the other hand, is saying no threes. No open threes. We'll go to overtime. The other thing you want to do here if you're Texas defensively, throw your hands back on drive, show the official that you're not reaching in, and make NC State hit a tough layup at the rim.
Texas's 2-point defense has been really good tonight. In fact, their overall defense, they've held NC State to 45% shooting.
I'll tell you, Kaluma has done a terrific job defensively tonight. Kendall Weaver's out there. He's going to bother O'Connell. He's a great defender.
O'Connell gets it, 16. Got Weaver all over him. 12. Picks up his dribble. 10.
Go.
Taylor down 2. Downhill. Pump fake. No whistle. Doesn't get the shot off cleanly. And Texas is going to escape Raleigh with a win and an exclamation jam from Kendall Weaver.
Taylor did the right thing. It looked like Shedrick stayed vertical. And that'll do it.
Another W for the SEC. Texas comes away with a 4-point victory And a little drama and maybe just a hair controversy in that last possession.
Well, you know what? Let's watch it. You know, good job by Taylor. Somebody was reaching in. I don't know if there was enough contact. Here he goes. Good D. No, it's good defense. When Taylor tried to jump into Shedrick held his ground. Johnson was not near him. He didn't foul. It's a very good defensive play by the young man that grew up 20 minutes from here. Holly Springs, Caden Shedrick.
Well, what a finish in a tightly contested game. Tonight's player of the game brought to you by Continental Tire is freshman Trey Johnson. Double figures every game as a Longhorn. He goes for 18 tonight, including 4 of 6 from 3. And Texas, it must feel like an escape for the Longhorns to get out of here with that W.
I had a feeling. And pretty good job by Trey Johnson, who's come over here. I'm not sure we're not going to interview him, but I like just standing next to him because he's got greatness in his
He does have
game
greatness.
someday.
You know, we'll talk to him off air. How about that? You can probably find it online when you get up tomorrow morning. Texas with the win, 63-59. For Fran Fraschilla, our fantastic crew, I'm Tom Hart. Have a great night, everybody.